Hey there, friends. Martin from Matthew's studio coming to you not from my backyard. We are back in the studio in our amazing facility right here in Burbank, California, where right behind these walls, we are chopping steel, we're grinding, we're welding, our CNC machines are milling away, and our lathes are spinning. And right over there, our textiles are all being sewn up, and shipping is shipping things all over the world, and receiving is receiving all sorts of stuff. Everybody is working super hard, making sure we get our world-class gear into your creative hands. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Matthews University, a series that we've been so proud of, and we've been so fortunate that you guys have given us all the support, given us all your comments, and we want to keep it going. So here we are, coming from our studio. We're here to talk about awesome stuff having to do with grip gear. Today we're going to be talking about the 40-inch C-Stand C+, which means right when you spin that little knob down there, that beautiful T-handle, voila, the riser comes right out. It is a junior pin right here, inch and an eighth pin that goes into a junior receiver on our turtle base. This turtle base can now be used to mount a lamp, a grip modifier, whatever you want that has a junior pin low and be able to get your gear where you need it. The riser comes off. It can be used as a boom. It can be inserted into anything that has an inch and an eighth receiver. And there you have it. Standardized measurements. We have the 5/8 baby pin right up here, just like that. And we have our inch and an eighth junior pin right down here, which are standard measurements that Ed Phillips, an amazing industry innovator, went to all the different manufacturers and said, hey, can we just use these standardized measurements? That way all of our gear will work together. The electrician stands and the grip stands and all the different manufacturers' equipment will work together. Amazing innovation. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Matthews. And let's talk about what we're going to get into with our C+ stand today. I'm going to get it out of the way here so I can set up the scenario. So, shooting in tight quarters happens all the time. Whether you're on a stage or on a location, you're always trying to tuck gear away. You're always trying to get every single inch you can for that frame so the camera is not seeing all the magic behind the scenes. So, sometimes you really need to get into the corner of a room, as far into that corner as you possibly can. The nature of this C-Stand is that it has this awesome wide base right down here, so that when you're going to be offsetting a piece of equipment, either trying to get a scrim in front of a light, a diffusion, a gel frame, whatever you're trying to do, you want to be able to offset it. So you send your arm always to the right in the direction of your tall leg. You always put a bag on that tall leg, make sure it's swinging and not sitting on the ground, or else it's not doing anything for you. But we've talked about that before. But here we go. That wide base, it gives you a wonderful footprint. It gives you wonderful stability. But at the same time, it makes it so you can't really tuck into that corner that we were just talking about. So we're going to talk about a cool little trick to be able to get this riser as tight into the corner as possible using two very simple and standard pieces of grip gear. So you're going to need an apple box. Matthews makes the world's finest 9-ply Baltic birch. We got that super strong center divider right here, but we've talked about that before also. And here's something that we haven't really talked a bunch about. It's our junior wall plate. So we have that same inch and an eighth receiver right here on a really thick, awesome, sturdy base plate that has 4 holes in the corners. That way you can mount this to a beam, a wall, the ground, an apple box, whatever you want to be able to screw or nail into, you can do so with these 4 holes. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create what we call a space saver. That's what I've heard it referred to. If you've heard it referred to as something else, put it in the comments. We love to hear what people talk about and what people call their gear and their setups all over the world. So please do that, and we would love to hear about it from you. So here we go. I'm going to take this junior wall plate, and I'm going, just because it's a wall plate doesn't mean it has to go on the wall. It can go on the floor, it can go on an apple box, it can go wherever you want. So I'm gonna put it right back into this corner. I'm gonna take a few screws and my drill motor. Not gonna use the impact gun because that could get you in trouble on set. When you use those impact drivers, the AD might get mad, the key grip might yell at you. So whenever possible, use the quiet option and get this drill motor. And we're going to attach this wall plate to this apple box. When I attach any of these wall plates, whether it's a baby or a junior, I try to angle the screws inward so it's working like a claw. I don't go straight down into the box or the wall or the beam, whatever I'm going into. I try to give it an angle so that it's kind of like a claw that is grabbing into whatever surface you're attaching to. So there goes one screw. There's another one. Tip came right out. Pretty cool. And 2 more screws and we'll be good to go. There we go. Once you're getting towards the end of screwing the screw in, make sure you let up or you will pop the heads right off of your screws because this is beefy steel. All right, so now we have this guy mounted on here. It's mounted right into the corner, right there, so that you can get this, once again, into the corner of the room that we're talking about, this imaginary space. We're using our imaginations, we're creative people. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you'll know what I'm talking about. We have that mounted. We're gonna take the riser, we're gonna insert it directly into that wall plate. And there you have it, you have a space saver. You still have plenty of room to put a sandbag on here. So just because you have it on a box doesn't mean you don't use a sandbag. You always wanna weight down the base of anything that you are mounting to. So also be aware that when you have this mounted to the base of a C-stand, you have a very strong steel to steel connection. Right now, all you have is the riser going into the junior wall plate and then just a few screws holding it into your apple box. You have to be a little bit more careful. You have to use common sense. That's a big part about gripping, is that not everything comes with rule books, with directions, with instructions. You have to know that once you're way up here and you have all this leverage, you could rip those screws right out of there. So use common sense. You're not gonna wanna put an enormous load offset with your arm. You know, you wanna really keep in mind that the only thing you got down there are some screws. But if you're trying to mount a little fixture onto here, if you're gonna lose your head and arm altogether and just use a riser, you now can get this right into the corner of the room. Let's pretend, I'm not an actor, but how about we pretend I'm the corner of a room right here. We have this riser right up against, probably 2 inches off of my chest right now. Whereas if we were using the base, you can see that it puts you probably half a foot, maybe even more, into the room, off of the corner of the wall. And since you'd be sticking this leg into the room to keep it under the weight, you're gonna have to keep both of these legs out of that corner instead of being able to put it literally probably 2.5 inches off of the corner of the wall. I know it might not seem like a big deal, but those few inches can really make a difference when you're fighting the frame lines and you're trying to just sneak a little bit of light, sneak an edge light, a little kicker into your scene. This could really help you save that little bit of space. Once again, the space saver. It's really cool. It's really simple. It uses standard gear that most grip packages are going to have and able to maximize the use of your equipment. It's really cool to come up with solutions that really use all your little bits and pieces of gear. That's the really cool thing about standardized measurements. If you have a junior pin and a junior receiver and 2 pieces of gear, they're going to work together. Just like this guy right here. We have a junior grid clamp right here. So it's a grid clamp with a junior receiver on it. You always want to rig it with the hinge down and the handle high. But just like we married it to this guy, the junior wall plate, you can take it, flip it upside down, attach it right there, and now you can mount this onto a piece of pipe. You got to make sure you safety everything. Anytime you're rigging anything, especially if it's overhead, you want to safety every piece of gear. It's the most important thing, safety. If you're trying to make an amazing masterpiece and you're putting people at risk, it's just not worth it. So always be safe. Use the best gear available, Matthew's studio equipment. And please give us your comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what else you want to learn about. We have the gear. We have the best stuff in the world to get the job done. Thank you for watching. Take care of each other. And Matthews University, back in it, putting out more episodes, and really happy to be doing it right here back in our studio. Take care of each other.